Good morning, students. This is 10th standard biology video class, video 1. In this video, we are going to see the new lesson, unit 22, environmental management. Dear students, the environmental management deals with the different aspects of environment and its structure, function, quality, maintenance, and also conservation of the living and non-living components. So these are all the different factors which is present in the environment that should be managed by the public and the government is known as environmental management. Not only that, by this environmental management, we can able to protect the natural resources which is present on the earth and all the living forms including man is another aspects of environmental management. Dear students, what all the things we are using in our daily life is everything that comes from the earth. So, that should be conserved for future use by using different appropriate technology. So, these resources which is present on the earth is divided into two renewable resources. Renewable means then and there we can able to produce. Another one, non-renewable resources, that is we are unable to produce then and there. So some of the renewable resources are reduced or exploited due to human activities. For example, forest, crop, wildlife, groundwater, wind and solar energy. So these are all the renewable resources. These resources are nowadays reduced, that is exploited by human activities. Those renewable resources are conserved for future uses. That is known as one of the environmental management. So these renewable resources are maintained themselves by natural recycling or by proper management. Another one, non-renewable resources, they cannot be recycled back, but these non-renewable resources are used by the man. So nowadays, these resources are reduced due to the continuous use by the man. For example, mineral ore, coal and petroleum. So these non-renewable resources cannot be replaced easily. So this would lead to a scarcity in the environment. So these non-renewable resources also conserved by environmental management. Dear students, after regular usage of non-renewable resources, so the total quantity of the non-renewable resources come to an end after a certain period of time. Not only that, nowadays the human populations are increasing. Due to increase of human population, the needs also increases. So that we have to increase the natural resources, that is renewable and non-renewable resources. So these non-renewable resources are conserved by using scientific and technological advancement. So man has started utilizing the natural resources at a much larger scale. Continuous increase in population, increase in demand in the resources. Therefore, we should conserve the natural resources and make important contributions to the social and economic development of the country. So that is the introductory part of environmental management. So the paragraph means we should conserve the natural resources, that is renewable as well as the non-renewable resources. So what are all the activities taken place by the government as well as the people to conserve the natural environment? First one, conservation and judicious use of resources. So natural resources are conserved by biological, economic and recreational values. That means biological means for the life activities, economic to increase the money value, and recreational value, that means பொழுதுபோக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா. ஸோ திஸ் ஆல் த த்ரீ values which are used by the man. So for these three purposes only, we should conserve the natural resources. So if you are using continuous natural resources, that leads to the imbalance in the environment. The judicious balance should be maintained. A judicious balance should be maintained between exploitation, that means reduction of resources, and this replenishment, that means reproduction of a reproduced nature of a natural resources. So the proper utilization and management of nature and its resources is termed as conservation. Is the 2 mark question. What is conservation? The proper management of nature, that means we are managing the nature and its resources, that means things which are present in the nature, is termed as conservation. The simple word is protection of a natural resources. We have to build a sustainable world which should last forever. Some of the ways to sustain continuous uses of resources are practices to utilize energy efficiently, avoid wastage of water, avoid usage of plastic and other non-biodegradable materials, and take care for environment we live. So that means we have to protect the natural environment or natural resources by practicing utilize energy efficiently, avoid wastage of water, using of plastic, avoid, and other non-biodegradable materials to take care for the environment. It is important that we manage and use our resources carefully so as to preserve for the future generation. That means we have to use the natural resources very carefully, and also we should preserve or conserve these natural resources for next generation. Next one, renewable and non-renewable energy resources. Energy is the important input for development. So we need energy to do our daily works, so that Energy is an important input for our growth and development. The expansion of possible energy resources has been directly related to the phase of agricultural, industrial development and every part of the world. So that means the energy resources is very much important for agriculture process, industrial process and also development of the world. So these energy resources can be classified into renewable and non-renewable resources. First one, non-renewable energy resources. That means once we are used those natural resources, we are unable to produce immediately. It will take millions of years to produce those kinds of non-renewable sources. That is said to be exhaustible energy resources. See the definition. Energy obtained from natural sources that cannot be renewed themselves over a short period of time is known as non-renewable energy. That's why I told you it will take millions of years to produce those kinds of renewable, that is non-renewable resources. Two more question is there. What is non-renewable energy? So energy obtained from the things that cannot renew themselves over a short period of time is known as non-renewable energy. So these energy which are available in a limited amount in nature, that is little amount only present in the nature. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas and nuclear power. So these four are the non-renewable resources. Two more question. Give some example of non-renewable resources. Coal, petroleum, natural gas and nuclear power. So these conventional energy sources account for 90% of the world production of commercial energy and nuclear power account for 10%. So these four are the non-renewable resources. Out of these four, coal, petroleum and natural gases are 90% of world production for commercial energy. Commercial energy means that is industries, factories, like that we are utilizing these kinds of energy. And the last one is the nuclear power energy, which is used for 10%. This is important. One more question. 90% of conventional energy resources is used for production of commercial energy. Only 10% is nuclear power used to produce the things or sources. Next one, renewable energy sources are inexhaustible energy sources. So these sources are available in unlimited amount on the earth or nature, but they can be renewed over a short period of time. Renewed over a short period of time, then within the short period we can able to produce these kinds of natural resources known as renewable energy sources. So these sources are inexpensive, ரொம்ப costly கிடையாது, and can be harvested continuously. So if you are using continuously, we can able to produce within a short period of time. That is known as renewable resources of energy. So they comprise the vast potential of non-conventional energy resources, which includes biofuel, biomass energy, geothermal energy, water energy, solar energy, wave energy and wind energy. For water energy we are having hydroelectric power energy and tidal energy. So these are all the non-conventional energy resources or renewable resources. That means, so these non-conventional energy resources are biofuel, biomass energy, geothermal energy, water energy, solar energy, wave energy and wind energy. So this energy can be produced within a short period. So these resources are known as renewable resources or inexhaustible resources. So first we are going to see one of the non-renewable resources, that is fossil fuels. So these fossil fuels are found inside the earth crust, that means below the ground level. And also these fossil fuels are which are producing large amount of energy rich substances. This energy produced by natural process such as anaerobic decomposition of buried dead organism over millions of years. That means below the ground level, the plant parts or dead and decayed of animal wastes are buried under the soil. So these dead and decayed matters are undergo anaerobic decomposition. So anaerobic means absence of oxygen, isn't it? So in this absence of oxygen condition, they decompose, that is split into or change into fossil fuel over millions of years. So all these sediments are accumulated below the ground level, which produce heat and pressure. The remains of the organisms are gradually transformed into hydrocarbons. So that means these dead and decayed matter sedimented layer by layer over millions of years, which produce large amount of heat and pressure. Then finally it is modified into hydrocarbons. Example, petroleum, coal and natural gas. Next one, coal and petroleum. So the coal and petroleum is also known as non-renewable natural resources. They are otherwise known as fossil fuels. They are formed by the degradation of biomass buried deep under the earth millions of years ago. That means the material which are buried under the soil, which undergo over millions of years and modified into coal and petroleum, that is natural resources, or otherwise they are known as fossil fuel. Dear students, see the do you know paragraph. India is the third largest consumer of crude oil in the world after the United States and China. So that means we are using large amount of crude oil. So we are placing as a third largest consumer all over the world after the United States and China. First place United States, second China, and third India, which are consuming the crude oil in the world. Next one, the uses of coal and petroleum. So coal is used for production of electricity, that is generation of electricity at thermal power station. Petroleum is otherwise known as crude oil, which is processed in oil refineries to produce petrol and diesel, which are used to run automobiles, trucks, trains, ship and airplanes, etc. Next one, kerosene and LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, obtained from petroleum, is used as a domestic fuel for cooking food. So if the coal and petroleum resources are get consuming continuously, it will be exhausted, that means reduced. So the formation of this fossil fuel is very slow process and it will take very long period of time for renewable. So we have to conserve this fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum and also consume the energy in a required quantity and conserve these fossil fuels for next generation or future generation. Then the topic is steps to conserve coal and petroleum resources. It is very much important to conserve coal and petroleum resources for the future use, which can be done by reducing their consumption. So the steps are, if electricity is saved, it will in turn reduce the use of coal. So if you are saving the electricity, it will reduce the usage of the coal. Using bicycle for covering short distance. That means, for example, if you are going to buy anything nearby shop means, we can able to use the bicycle instead of that using car, scooter or motorcycle. Then using pressure cooker reduce the consumption of kerosene and LPG while cooking food. Solar cooker and solar heater can be used wherever possible. So we have to use the pressure cooker while cooking at the home to reduce the consumption of kerosene and LPG gas. Not only that, we can able to use solar cooker and solar heater if it is possible. Next one, motor vehicle should be designed with fuel efficient engine to increase efficiency and also reduce air pollution. So if you are using the fossil fuels with efficient engines to increase the efficiency and also reduce the air pollution. So these are all the different steps to conserve fossil fuel such as coal and petroleum resources. Next one, non-conventional energy resources. So non-conventional energy resources means alternative energy resources. So the energy crisis has shown that for sustainable development in energy sector, we must conserve the non-renewable conventional resources from its rapid depletion and replace them by non-polluting renewable sources which are environmentally clean. Dear students, nowadays the usage of coal and petroleum which cause crisis means kureibadu in the nature, that should be reduced by replacing the renewable resources, that is non-polluting renewable sources which are environmentally clean. So efforts are made to develop new sources of energy which is called non-conventional sources of energy. It provides greater initiative to local people who could assess their needs and resources and plan a strategy that could be useful to them. So that means to reduce the more usage of non-renewable resources, we can able to produce non-conventional energy sources or alternative energy sources to reduce the crisis of non-renewable resources such as coal, petroleum and natural gas, because it will take more time to produce, that is millions of years, isn't it? So that's why we should follow the alternative energy resources or non-conventional energy resources. Dear students, in this video we have seen renewable and non-renewable resources, fossil fuels, coal and petroleum, and also we have seen non-conventional energy resources. Dear students, up to this I conclude my video. Remaining we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best children.